Yeah, my first reaction of it, well, first of all, I was really excited because you finally get to see like a sequel to the previous two games, and knowing me as a huge fan, that really perked me up, and I've been researching like God knows, like no tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I just want to get every single detail. I didn't want to get myself too spoiled, so I tried straying away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much same here. Like, well, when Dark Dawn was announced, I was really psyched and excited, though I kind of thought that Golden Sun ended pretty well with the Lost Age.
That's what we probably all thought too.
Yeah.
But I can understand why a sequel to the game would be a little necessary, because there are some plot holes that could have been filled.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, Alex.
Yeah, like, as in, like, what the hell happened. Yeah, I kind of got the impression when they released, like, a whole bunch of characters, like 8 characters, I kind of got the impression that this was going to be a very, very long game.
Yeah.
Since that, it took, like, over 2 games to, get, all eight characters to finally band together. I kind of thought that this was going to be a really, really long game.
Right.
But that's just me.
I was kind of surprised the Jinn were involved in the third game too, because I thought, as you said, the Lost Stage ended pretty good, and the Jinn would be, well, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that we got all the Jinn in the Lost Age, and then like they come out with some new ones. I'm like, okay, that was never explained. I think I can probably like explain it away with my own hypothesis, in that it's probably more Jinn were released when the Golden Sun was formed. That would probably work, but it was just never explained.
Yeah, but that.
Well, that was unfortunate.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's see.
As far as I know with gameplay, I am really glad they kept the classical battle system from the previous 2 games. It's definitely great nostalgia there.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way that in the DS form, the synergy is how we use it as well, and how it's performed by using the stylus. I thought that was pretty cool.
I never used it. I never really tried. I was like,
yeah,
whenever I use styluses, it's always slower than when I just use the control pad. I tried like for a little bit. I didn't really like it, but that's just my personal preference. What kind of bugged me? Alright, so it's set up for a touchscreen. Alright, that's fine. You know, when I was sorting through items and all that kind of stuff, it took such a long time to look for the item that I was looking for. Not long, but just it took longer so all of your items are in a single line, and you have to scroll through each one, as opposed to each page where it shows 5 at a time.
Right.
Or 10 at a time, I forget which. But if you're gonna make it either touchscreen or control pad, couldn't you like include an option in the options menu? You know, switch it between stylus or you know, control pad, so that'll be a little bit more easier.
Pretty much the menu in general wasn't aligned very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's really not aligned that well.
The gameplay I liked, though. There's a couple of changes, actually, that I noticed. In the first 2 games, whenever you, like, for example, attack an enemy, say that you have all 4 party members attack at once, or whatever, the same enemy, and say that like after the third time it's attacked, and it dies, then the fourth character will automatically go to defend. And however, in Dark Dawn,
right, I noticed that too.
They have it go and attack the next enemy.
Right.
Which I both hate and like. Attacking the next enemy, it's really useful when you're just level grinding. However, I kind of felt that, especially with the Star Magician boss battle, that it was much harder because your other party members go on to attack the next enemy.
Yes, in some cases of the bosses, you will have a harder time with the system.
Yeah, a little bit. Just because they kind of changed around like one rule, which I think made the system in the first two games probably stronger. While Dark Dawn system is probably more convenient in the short run, I think that the first two battle systems is probably slightly better because of that.
Right.
Yeah. I played through this game twice. First one, I actually missed a couple of Jin, which...
Same.
Yeah, I missed Jin, and I'm usually very careful. I try to get them all.
Yeah, same
gotta
here.
Catch them all, but I still missed some anyway, and those points of no returns kind of ticked me off. But when I beat the game, I kind of found it to be incredibly easy.
Yeah, that's one
I don't know
that everybody
why.
says. Though the dark monsters were a little bit tricky.
They were a little bit stronger, but they weren't too difficult either. They were stronger.
Yeah,
with the first two games, it was easy, I will admit. However, The Lost Age had a hard mode. That kind of at least gives it a slight more difficulty to the player.
Yeah.
Even though the first two games was slightly easy, not as easy as Dark Dawn, but at least those had the arena.
Yeah, that was one big disappointment.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's what I was kind of hoping in Dark Dawn, and when I first got the game, I'm like, oh, there's no Wi-Fi? Damn.
Yeah, no kid. That was the first disappointment.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we couldn't get the challenge from the game, we can at least battle each other.
Yeah, and I kind of found it really sad that even with the final battle, I was able to get through it, no problems. And the only thing that I had difficulty was when my DS died on its energy.
Oh.
That was the only time I lost.
Oh.
Otherwise, I've never lost the final boss.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. Because in the other two games, I actually did lose to Fusion Dragon maybe first few times, and Doom Dragon a couple of times.
I remember losing to Doom Dragon a lot.
Yeah. However, I kind of like the way they did something different with the final boss. I mean, it's not a dragon to begin with,
it's not a dragon.
God.
Kind of, yeah.
I thought of it more as a semi-final boss rather than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was kind of hoping, Arcanus would have been the final boss.
Oh, you mean Alex?
But then again, it's kind of obvious. I mean, just look at the art.
Yeah.
Even a dog could tell it. That's how sad it is.
No kidding. Did they hold any kind of tension whatsoever?
Well, maybe if they cut his hair off, just to, like, make it a little short or make it the full mask, that I would have noticed something.
Yeah.
But really, half a mask.
Half a mask, same hair, pretty much the same clothes. Same way of speaking, that kind of thing.
That's the only difference is the clothes, but otherwise that's it. The speaking style also gave it even more away.
Yeah, no, it held no tension. We immediately saw the scene.
Yeah, and it was kind of sad that nobody
Alex. Knew. Yeah, he's back. There we go.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, Alex, just shut the hell up and just
reveal yourself already. Yeah.
You might as well, because I think we all knew it by now.
Yeah. Oh God, no! Oh my God, that annoyed me to hell. Oh God, so when the characters say stuff, hot words pop up, and if you click on them, then it opens up a new thing on the top. So you have to look away from what's happening to go and read this little subtext.
Right.
Up at the top. And once you're done with that, you go back down, and then you've instantly forgotten what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's unnecessary, especially some of the info that we learned from the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
It is annoying, but I can understand just a little why they would include the encyclopedia for those who actually want to know from the previous 2 games. That way they don't have to go through getting the 2 games, even though I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like there's some information that is actually helpful that is not explained at all in the actual storyline. Like, for example, Jenna and all the other people from Vale apparently now live in Kale. Yeah. They never explain that, though the it's in the encyclopedia.
Yeah, okay, I'm right there. I'm right in my other file right now, and I'm going to the dreaded topic. Here we go, the encyclopedia. I pretty much got, like, what the hell? Like a 169 out of 179? Huh.
Yeah, I'm somewhere around there, too. And I don't really know how I missed any of them.
Yeah, same. I always clicked on them in the first try.
The second time I played through them, I just pressed L and R just to get them out of the way, and I didn't read them, because they were just that useless.
Yeah.
And I probably understood the story a whole lot better because I wasn't preoccupied with those at all.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. If it was used right, it could have been useful. However, it just annoyed the hell out of me. And God. Oh, jeez.
The graphics aren't actually too bad for a Golden Sun game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, for a DS game, that's for sure.
Yeah, that too.
I liked at first when my initial reaction with the graphics, obviously since it was on a bigger screen and you know, it was a little bit pixelated, I wasn't too sure. But you know what? Yeah, the graphics do look nice. They're very colorful and
suiting for the DS game and in Golden Sun.
Yeah, they are very they have a kind of cartoony feel a little bit, as in not like you know what they're drawn on, the anime-ish, I suppose. Right.
Like the Tales series or the Persona.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they look pretty nice to the eye.
The best thing about the game was definitely the music. I'm not gonna lie. I think Sakuraba-sama did a really good job with the music as usual.
You know, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
You ain't your father after all.
But I mean, even though the music, I liked the music, I felt this was probably the weakest one that he's ever done. Actually, the music wasn't bad per se. It's just that I didn't really find anything in the game, not in particular, was really memorable at all, or really catchy. With the first 2 games, you know, like for example, if you play the Magma Rock music, and then I know it would be Magma Rock because it was pretty definitive. If you know what I'm saying. Let me see, and here's something else that I kind of noticed. Let me see if I can play these 2 clips. Okay, now that was the first one. This is the second one.
Yeah, that I noticed.
All right, now play them at the exact same time. They're the exact same song.
They are.
Now, I don't know if I can't remember which of those battle themes was supposed to go where.
I think the first one you played, which is it goes in the land, and the other one might have been in the ship.
Yeah, I can't remember though.
I think the last game, if
that were the case, in the last game, there was a ship theme, and it sounded completely different.
Yeah.
And I mean, and even the individual characters had their own theme songs. I mean, Jenna had her own theme song. Let's see. There was a ship theme. There was Felix's theme. And there was Isaac's theme. I found that, I mean, even though it is, that the music is good, I found it to be slightly lazier than the first two games, or
yeah, just... I have noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, they are good songs, though none of them are, to me, none of them were really memorable. But, one thing else, the boss, Dullahan, in Dark Dawn. It's basically Sachiros' theme, except remixed.
Yeah.
Why is he in this game? No, as in like, actually with most of the stuff, you know, like your equipment, all the equipment that you find, Star Magician, Dullahan, most
I don't
of it...
know what they were in the game.
Most of it is from the last game.
Yeah.
Like the equipment and everything. I was kind of excited to like find some new equipment and stuff, but most of it is the only thing that I can't think of. The only thing that I can think of off the top of my head that isn't used in the last game are the bows and the dusk sword. Everything else though is pretty much ripped off the first and the second game.
Right, except the claws and gloves, though.
Oh yeah, and except for Sveta's,
all
of Sveta's equipment.
Sveta's class is pretty much new.
Yeah, so like when you get the Soul Blade, I mean, that's kind of like when I got the Soul Blade, I was wondering, didn't Felix have this last? Because I gave it to Felix, but you know, Isaac or Felix, whoever has it.
I gave it to Felix too.
Yeah, but that's what I was wondering. What happened to the one that Felix was having? That Felix
Mars
had?
Lights.
Is it the same one? Did he go up onto the top of onto the Apollo lens and put it there? I mean, it doesn't seem like he could have, because and especially. Like a couple, just not too long ago, you find the Titan blade in the I
would have liked it if they had like maybe Luna blade a little better, because like you said, there was already a Soul Blade. But then again, I can kind of see why they did it for Apollo's lens. I thought the story was a little weak.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or not anymore. I mean, we already pointing out the reasons. Number one, we don't even know what happened to the others besides the encyclopedia, but they haven't gone further.
No kidding. Like, they don't even they don't ever really bring him up, except for maybe Ivan, and he's not
Pierce.
There.
Pierce is like the biggest troll in the game because you hear him go around the world and says, "Yet we don't see him."
Well, yeah, and so we don't know anything about any of the other established characters. We have absolutely no idea what they've been doing, except for Piers, and the answer is Noel. So
yeah,
that was really weird. But other than that, other than Isaac, Garrett, a little bit of Jenna, and Piers, we really absolutely know nothing about the other established characters. If they're not going to explain any of the established characters, they might have well just had this game take place like 300 years after the last game.
Yeah.
Because that would have probably been a better choice, I think.
And the biggest one was the end.
Oh, you know, when the
yeah,
synergy vortexes come back again.
It's like, oh hi, I've been waiting for you for the past 3 hours of the game since the beginning, but now
like they established these synergy vortexes.
I was like, what the hell?
And then after like 5 hours, they're never mentioned again until the end.
Yeah, and it got like bigger.
You know, what would have probably held more tension is if they never explained the synergy vortexes at all, and then at the end, this huge synergy vortex appears, and then it would have generated more mystery.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, holy crap, what the hell is that? What does it do? That looks like trouble. Dude, I'm totally gonna buy the next game.
Exactly.
Just to figure out what the hell that thing is. When you explained
it in the beginning, and then like, for the first 3 hours of the game, but then all of a sudden they don't mention it again because the Grave Eclipse.
Because they don't appear ever again, except for that last part, which was near a bridge, which you go and save a kid and like yada yada, and that's pretty much the last time where you ever see them, except at the end. So yeah, that was really dumb.
You don't just face the synergy vortex and just say, "Oh, the end."
No, and that's another thing. It says the end with a question mark.
Yeah.
A question mark. Well, this is where I think where I believed that the Lost Age ended triumphantly and solid, was that it had solid words, the end. At the end of Golden Sun, it also has in strong letters, to be continued. It doesn't say the end, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, with triumphant music, da 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 da, you know. However, at the end of this game, it says
the end.
It says really in small letters, the end, question mark. I'm just like, well, that was kind of weak.
That's what?
Yeah, you set up, and you have two of the characters from the last game, and their children, and they're looking out on Soul Sanctum, and they say, we're gonna travel there. But then, the comic relief instantly goes and crashes what is needed to go over there.
Yeah.
So, you have to go off on this mission. The parents send you off on the mission to get a feather. I don't think it's really gonna get your interest too much.
Exactly.
As compared to chasing down these two badasses who are insanely strong on a almost impossible quest.
Mm-hmm.
So
it pretty much fluctuated as the game goes on. Like, it's from, like, you're getting a feather to getting an orb or getting to important story and then back to feather, etc.
Yeah,
which
but
kind of got a little annoying.
Okay, so, yeah, but the plot changes as the game progresses. Okay, so you and I both know the reason why Blados and Chalice did what they did in the game. So we know why they had to block Matthew and party from going the North way, because they had to have Matthew and party activate the two alchemy machines.
Alchemy Dynamo.
Yeah, the alchemy dynamo and the alchemy well. So they have to activate those two machines in order to activate the Eclipse Tower. And once you activate the Eclipse Tower, then you can activate Apollo Lens, or something around that, right? So, these guys, Blados and Chalice, they go after Matthew's party, and they have them activate these towers. When this actually is kind of fairly improbable, first of all, mainly because, number one, how the heck did they know that Matthew and party would leave to go on this quest?
Unless there's... Yeah, they never really expanded to that information.
Well, okay, so if
maybe
Alex...
one person, maybe, but...
I don't really understand how they were able to come up with this plan so quickly and so suddenly. Like, so Tyrell crashes the hang glider. What if Tyrell never did that? Then we wouldn't have a reason to go over and get the rock feather. Then we wouldn't have a game. Right. However, with like the first games, Saturos and Minardi were planning to go into the sanctuary all the same.
To steal the elemental stars and all the lighthouses to save their people.
Yeah, exactly. They were planning to do that all the same. Isaac and party going in there was just kind of like, oh, huh. Let's just sit back a little bit and let's see what happens then. Maybe we can have them do all the work in here while we just sit over here on the sidelines for a little bit. So, Saturos and Minardi's plan was probably well thought out years ahead. However, with this one, this plan was thought up like right on the spot, and it's so complex that and so perfectly executed that no way that would actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where you're coming from.
Yeah, but and I find this kind of pointless too. So, because quite frankly, you can just get anybody else to do this for you.
Right.
Alchemy has been unleashed upon the world. In 15 years, or in 30 years' time, there should be about a slew of adepts. A slew of adepts wandering around the earth. Why don't you just like ask them to do it? If you bribe them, I'm pretty sure that they'll do it for you. Why do you have to jerk around these kids to try and do what you want them to do? And even if you want to jerk around with these kids, why don't you kidnap them? Why let them go?
They tried kidnapping Reef, so...
Well, no, they kidnapped Reef, but then they let him go.
Yeah, they did.
What would have probably been a much better plan? Okay, is either hiring somebody else, okay, but if you wanna mess around with these kids, then kidnap all the kids, and then force them to do what you want them to do, as in have them in your possession. Don't let them go wandering around fighting baddies, leveling up, so that they have so that there's a higher chance of them beating you in the end.
Yeah. Speaking of Alex, the biggest confusion I have was, well, how he got a kid. Well, even though, yeah, he met mother, but...
Oh, you mean Amity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously. Alex is Amity's father. It's kind of obvious, yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm wondering, like, at the end, why were you here, Alex? What did you do, and, what was your plan at the beginning? because I was just really confused of what Alex was doing.
Yeah, because in the last games, Alex's plan was more explanatory as the game goes on, but in this one, it didn't seem to be that case.
Yeah. So, well, okay, so Alex's plan, or at least what he does, so he goes and helps these guys try and light the Apollo lens, which they're going to use to blow stuff up with.
Yeah.
And cause havoc and stuff. So he helps them do this. And then at the last second, he turns heel on them, and then it tells Matthew, you know, go and stop them. Go and stop this eclipse. How does that help him? How does that?
What is he trying to accomplish, really?
Yeah. What is he trying to accomplish?
And that's not explained again.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why he would ally himself with these guys just to turn heel, but not get anything out of it.
Right.
Because I know that Alex would want something from this, and it didn't really seem like he got anything from this. So I have absolutely no idea why he did anything.
Mhm.
Yeah. God. About all the old characters.
Mhm.
They say that they're not gonna age at all.
Yeah, that I noticed.
But they're aging, apparently. I mean, they look completely different. Like, Isaac has a beard. He's like about nowhere near the height a teenager would be, and plus they say, yeah, we were exposed to the golden sun's light, therefore, and we won't age. I'm like, no, you weren't. You were exposed to the Mars lighthouse's light. You weren't exposed to the golden sun's light.
Yeah. It never really explained a bit more on Isaac, though. Not that much, because remember, the Wise One did say the Mars star was imbued to Isaac.
Yeah.
And 1/4 of the golden sun's power.
Unless that power passes on to Matthew or something.
Yeah.
But that age thing just really got to me. That's like, well, that's
irony.
Really stupid.
Irony.
Yeah. That was just like.
Well, Creighton though didn't look very different though.
Yeah, well, he grew out a whole lot of hair and.
That's really all.
But yeah, there's really no point to that. You could have said like, we were exposed to the Mars lighthouse's energy, and while we do age, we don't really run out of energy. Maybe that's why Creighton still kind of lives.
Yeah.
Like maybe, yeah, you can have them age, but maybe they'll just live longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. For some strange reason, the aging part just really kind of annoys me for some reason, and I don't know why. But
yeah,
you know, maybe it's Alex who doesn't age. You know, he looks exactly the same. Yeah, since he was directly exposed to the golden sun's light.
First of all, well, Matthew's alright for a main character.
Mm-hmm. You know, I suppose that this would probably come from design or something, but I said Isaac earlier, and he looks way too much like Isaac.
Yeah, he does.
And, I mean, I know he is his son and everything, but I mean, I always keep thinking about Isaac whenever I see Matthew. I'm like, when Matthew's picture pops up or whatever, my mind immediately goes to Isaac.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's especially with the same with Tyrell as well. Garrett wore yellow clothing, and now Tyrell, who looks like Garrett, wears yellow clothing. I mean, I suppose this would just come down to design, but yeah, that was just something that really bugged me.
Yeah, they looked a little too similar.
Yeah.
But I did notice they kind of tried a little too hard with Matthew, because I did notice there are some parts that he actually did speak like question marks. And there was actually one hilarious thing that happened in the game.
At the end?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, he has symbols as though he just cussed.
I know. I was like, okay,
I'm like,
what?
Wow, that was kind of different.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, no, but I don't know if that was their intention, if Matthew just swore, or if like he's speaking some weird alien language that nobody else can understand. But
yeah, but I think it looks more cursing than.
Yeah, no, that was just kind of hilarious.
That was really funny as hell. When our kid has appeared right there, and he's like, "You symbol."
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, Karis is actually different. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Number one being Ivan's daughter, and number two being part of the Animos. I don't really know that much about her now that I think about it. But besides, she's just intelligent.
She is very intelligent. She's like Ivan, I suppose, where Ivan was kind of always the thinker, usually, and so was Karis. She was her character was written pretty well. She did have that kind of wisdom-ish persona.
Yeah.
And you know, always the cool-headed one. You know, Tyrell always had that hot-headedness. You know, these characters were really well written.
Yeah.
For the most part. So that's the thing with you know, Golden Sun, and the way that it's scripted. It's done fairly well. As simple as the story is, it is scripted pretty well, and you're able to tell what character is thinking what, and you know, what the tone is, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I really liked about Golden Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty good scripting. Aside from Matthew cursing, but
yeah, I think they did it just for fun.
Yeah, maybe. Though I really don't know what they were trying to go for, but whatever.
Yeah. Reef.
Yeah, Reef.
I don't know. He seems alright, but at the same time,
He's kind of pointless. Yeah. I don't know if a whole lot of people like him.
I've heard not a lot.
Yeah. I don't think a whole lot of people like him. I
mean,
don't know why, but
his intention was to be intelligent, but we already have Karis for that.
Yeah. Well, there's intelligence, and then there's wisdom-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Though I think Karis showed both. I think
the most.
Reef was probably there to replace Kraden, but then Kraden shows up later, so he's kind of pointless then.
Pointless. Yeah, I wish Kraden kind of didn't get involved. He was actually a bit of my favorite.
Yeah, I generally liked him. You know.
Yeah, he was my favorite male.
He had a pretty interesting backstory. I mean, since he's the son of Alex, it's pretty much given away. You know, that's.
But he didn't know about who it was.
Yeah, but I found that his backstory was very interesting.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it as well.
Sveta is actually my favorite female too. Hers was
I really liked her as well. She was
she had a purpose and pretty much importance too.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. I was also
noticed.
Yeah, she does have a purpose. I was thinking about this, and I'm gonna probably say something really controversial here. Okay, so going back to the first two games. Isaac is our main hero. Why? Because he is assigned with this task by the
recover
wise
the
one.
elemental stars.
Yeah, he's chosen by the wise one to get these stars, and he is also imbued with the power of the Mars star, which does something, but though I'm not entirely sure what. In the second game, Felix is our main hero. Why? It's because he is the one who's going to be ultimately responsible for unleashing alchemy upon the world. And it was also prophesied by the Wise One, I think, if I remember correctly, that he will release that power. That's why he's our main hero.
Right.
In the third game, Matthew is our main hero. Why? Just because he's the son of Isaac. That's it. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like I said, I'm gonna say something really controversial here, but I don't think that Matthew should be the main character. Quite frankly, the way the story's plotline is set up and everything, I really think that it should be Sveta who should be the main character.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Sveta's brother is doing deals with the main villains, and ultimately her hometown is responsible and destroyed by the evil that her brother has unleashed. She has the motivation to go and fix this. She has more of a motivation than anybody else there.
Yeah.
At the end, she's the only one who can wear the Umbra gear in order to actually go.
That I've noticed too, because when I was looking for those weapons, she was the only character that you can equip it with.
Yeah, and she ultimately at the end, you get to control her and go up to turn off the Apollo lens, even though, you know, Volachek interfered and everything. However, she was perfectly willing to sacrifice herself for her town and for the world. That's the reason why I think she probably would have made a better main character.
Yeah. She had the potential.
Yeah, she did have the potential, but apparently being the son of the original guys is apparently more important.
I'm kind of surprised Alex didn't take action on Matthew simply because he is Isaac's son and he has a grudge for against Isaac.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
I was surprised he didn't go, unless he was planning something around the end. But again, it was not explained.
It's not really clear, no.
Yeah, unless it's ever clear, then yeah.
Yeah, and here, so, all right, actually, you know, so you have 8 characters for this game. However, I think that this could have been done with 4.
Yeah.
Okay, you could have had, let's see.
I think the 4 potentials are Matthew, Karis, Tyrell, and Sveta.
Well, actually, maybe you could have done it like this. Have Matthew. Well, maybe you could have started out with Sveta. Okay, so the main characters, Sveta would probably be the main character. Character. Then you would have, let's see. Then you would make Karis into a fire adept. Erase Tyrell. You would have Sveta. Then you'd have Amity and Matthew. And that's basically all you would pretty much need.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because
I can see that.
Yeah, everybody else is kind of pointless, really. For example, Tyrell, yeah, while his character was interesting, he was kind of only used for comic relief, and he kind of is a Garrett clone. He really wouldn't have to be used. Let's see. Reef could have been completely erased and you wouldn't really notice anything. Let's see. Eoleo. The only reason why he's in there is to provide the boat.
Well, that.
Yeah.
There's also nostalgia a little.
Yeah, but you could have had him in there. but he wouldn't have had to join the main party. Yeah, the only reason why he's in there is just to, it was okay for nostalgia and for giving us the boat.
But there's no, and to also get revenge. But that's not real.
I found that whole motivation was kind of thrown in because, when Briggs dies, spoilers, Briggs is killed off screen, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it like, I'm gonna kill him. And I'm like, oh, okay, nice of you to be with us. Yeah, I'm gonna totally kill them. And then in the end, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't, like, have a scene where, like, he, like, grabs Blados by the throat and, like, says he's gonna take revenge. And then, you have that scene where it's like, no, it's not right, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But, he doesn't do he doesn't take revenge at all. Did you notice that?
It's just pointless as hell.
Yeah. So, and then you have Himi.
Yeah. She entered late in the game.
She entered really late in the game, and her only purpose was to just provide a new synergy skill, which wasn't new at all. It was just basically reveal.
Yeah.
Which Sveta should have, or Karis should have had.
Apparently not.
No, apparently not. We need a new character for that.
But it was nice to have a female Venus Death.
Yeah, it was. It was new, though. Obviously.
I just wish they could have done better with her, though.
Yeah.
She was late in the game, and she didn't have very much moments.
Yeah. And this is the part where I had to get away from the Skype call for a bit, and when I came back, I had to end the Skype call, and when I came back and recorded, then the audio, for some strange reason, completely screwed up, and I am recorded incredibly, incredibly low, as in you can't hear me at all, and Aegis was recorded too loud. So instead of giving you guys a broken audio clip, I've decided to just give you guys the Cliff Notes version of what we discussed. Just wrapping up here really quickly. Let's see. Blados and Chalice. They were better than Agashio and Karst, but not as good as Citrus and Minardi, really. They were threatening, but they're nowhere near as good as Citrus and Minardi. Let's see. Blados specifically, he looks like a Naruto reject, actually. Chalice, the only complaints really for her is Aegis said, like, she thinks that she's, I'm so sexy, that kind of thing. I asked the question, why does she have horns when Blados does not have horns? What's up with those? And also, she makes Aegis's dog cry, actually. It cries a lot because of her. Volacek. He's a likable redemption bad guy. The kind of bad guy who does the wrong thing, and then he kind of redeems himself at the end of the game. He was good. He was really good. Moving on. The Wise One, not in this game. We're kind of expecting him to, show up sometime in this game. There was the Wise One statues are scattered out all around Wayard, and we kind of thought that it was building up to seeing the Wise One. Not happening. It did not happen. Also, who built those statues? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, most of the established characters' relationships, from the first two games, they're not really made clear. Again, the only relationship, obviously, is that Isaac and Jenna, but we don't know. Obviously, most of the characters didn't wind up with each other. They probably married somebody else, just some non-NPC kind of character who we don't ever meet. However, I would have liked to seen the characters, the established characters, and what they were doing and stuff. Continuing to emphasizing that a lot. Oh, me and Alex. Apparently in Dark Dawn, they are cousins. Although it is not that is not established in the previous games, actually. Moving on. Oh god. Garrett explains way too much. Okay, actually that's from basically the game in general. At the beginning, when Isaac and Garrett come with you to go and rescue Tyrell, and when you're going through the tutorial level, quote unquote, excuse me, when you're going through the tutorial level, the first stump that you move, when I went up to it, I knew what I had to do, and I tried to move it. And then all of a sudden, Garrett comes up, and he says, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna explain it to you anyway. Even though you did it correctly, I'm gonna totally explain through it step by step how to open up the menu, how to click on, or how to choose the synergy, choose the right synergy, and how to move it. I just felt that was probably the most redundant thing ever, especially since I've already done it. And then also later in the game, when you're gonna fire a fireball at a flower, it is quite obviously you're supposed to fire a fireball at the flower. However, it takes Garrett like such a long time. He's like, where should I fire this? Boom, 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 and then finally, boom, and I could have told, I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, fire at the flower! It's obvious! But, you know, that just annoyed the hell out of me. Moving on. The map. Well, the map in the world in general, in this game you can only explore like 1/3, maybe even only 1/4 of the world. That was really, that was kind of a downer, because, you know, like I said earlier, with the 8 characters, I kind of assumed that this was going to be a long game. Apparently not. So only exploring like 1/3 of the world, it made it seem a whole lot more smaller and shorter. Let's see. Over the course of 30 years, the world certainly has changed a whole lot. Especially, and, you know, like, civilizations rise. You know what, that's fine. I expected some change, but there was just really nothing familiar about the world from the previous 2 games. I had no idea where the hell I was. You know, none of it seemed familiar. I expected to be some places familiar, but it seemed way too drastic, actually. And a little nitpicky thing. That wall that goes across, I'm sorry, that wall that you go to go to Apollo Lens, apparently, it was an ancient civilization kind of wall, where it's been there, like, since ancient times. BS. That wall is nowhere in the, first 2 games. I guess it just sprung up, I suppose, but, I mean, ugh. That was stupid. Crossbone Isle. That's one. Why is Crossbone Isle all the way, you know, not near Cargill Sea? I mean, you can sail to Crossbone Isle while you're on that boat traveling through the Cargill Sea. So why the hell is it over there? All the way over there? I mean, did the boat suddenly, like, transport over there? I mean, it just makes no sense. Let's see. Yeah, no old towns, really. Nothing was familiar. Dungeons. Dungeons in this game are not very long, actually. They seem fairly short. However, I remember in The Lost Age, dungeons were long. They were long as hell. Especially, like, the longest one I remember, at least what it felt to me, was Ayers Rock. It seems like that dungeon went on forever. And I liked that. I liked that because it made the games feel so much longer. And I felt like as though I got my money's worth. But the dungeons in this game are really short. And I was just breezing by these. By these dungeons. It was really quick. I was very surprised. Leveling up. Oh, leveling up. leveling up, I also noticed, is very quick, because here's something else. At the end of the game, I noticed something, is that the experience points needed to get from, like, level 80 to 81 are the exact same as when you're going from, like, level 40 to 41. It's the exact same. And trust me, I've played through the Lost Age multiple times. I'm nowhere near level 80 and 81. And all of a sudden, I'm just quickly gaining levels like that. Especially at the end, where on the Apollo lens, where where those soldiers are, and they'll just keep on giving you a whole lot of experience points, like what Wonderbirds in the second game would give you. A lot of experience points, and you gained levels, like, really, really quickly. All the summons, yeah. All the summons are exactly the same. Exactly the same, no new summons at all, except for one. And that was the Crystal Dragon. You know, I just kind of face-palmed, really, because I'm like, what? No. Are you serious? Yo, you've got to be kidding me. No way. No. Because, you know, if they had actually made other summons, you know, other new summons, then that would have been kind of like a nod to, I suppose, it would have been a nod to the, to that little commercial as like a little joke. However, it just seems, again, lazy, because that's the only new summon. Everything else is just the same. However, that's the only new summon. So that's the reason why I think that it's really friggin' lazy, is that, God. Okay, time to wrap up. Alright. The game, it was okay. It was okay. It really was. You know, for all my nitpicks and for all the things I bitch about it, you know, it was okay. It was fun. I had fun playing it. But it definitely was not the best. No, not at all. Really it wasn't the best. It could have been better. It really could have. But, yeah. This one was just kind of disappointing, really. You know, for somebody who's new to the franchise, you know, this would be a pretty good game. You know, it would be a good game to get into. But, you know, for returning fans, really, it's not that great of a game, really. The Lost Age, by far, is the best one, really. And The Lost Age is really my favorite of the entire series. But really, for returning fans, Dark Dawn doesn't offer too much for returning fans. I suppose they tried to concentrate more on getting new people in, especially since the years that it has taken for them to make a new game. But at the same time, I kind of wish that they would have done a little bit more for the returning fans. Going back to that Garrett explains too much thing. Basically, what they did is that, okay, so you move the stump. You know, you've been there before. You know how to do it. But then the game says, you know what? I'm gonna explain it for you. Because I don't care whether you've played the previous games or not. It doesn't matter. Because you know, I kind of see that as a little, we don't care about the previous, about the fan base who sat through the first two games. You know, who played the first two games. You know, I don't think that they really cared about the guys, about the fan base who played through the last game. But that's just my interpretation of it. You can interpret that any way that you want. But really, for some strange reason, I just see that more as a slap to the face to the established fan base than really anything else. Yeah, so so that's pretty much my thoughts about it, and pretty much Aegis's thoughts on it too. She also had fun with the game, and she generally liked it. But yeah, she also kind of thought that it was disappointing. Also, I'm sorry for constantly cutting you off, Aegis, in this review. Through editing this, I realized very quickly that I continued to cut you off about 1,000,000 times, and I just keep rambling on. I'm really sorry. Please, I apologize. So yeah, thanks everybody. That's it.